Book your flight to the 7th dimension and set your brain to shuffle. 'Tis time for Randomize.
Y'all, welcome to Randomize, your source for the most random topics that humanity needs to hear. I'm your host, JR Ramsey, and as always, I'm joined today by my legendary co-host, Cecelia Montalvo. Cecelia, I have a question for you.
What's up?
What did you have to do to gain legendary status?
You know, I think I was born a legend. I think that's how I earned it, you know, day one.
I totally believe it. So I've known you for roughly 6 to 8 months, and I say ever since I've known you, you've been legendary. So I definitely believe that you've had it since day one.
I appreciate you recognizing that. That means you're a legend too. You know that, right?
Oh my gosh, thank you, Cecelia. I appreciate it. I will take that. If one legend can bestow legendary status on another person, I will take that as
Yes.
legendary status. It's like knighting a knight.
Exactly.
You know, a knight knighting someone else is a
That
knight.
is exactly what just happened.
Totally. So really quickly, before we start onto our random topics, I have some really cool updates. So we had a listener, Cecelia, who actually sent me a message saying that I made a big miss opportunity.
Oh gosh.
So I missed an opportunity. If you remember 2 episodes ago, we talked about the possibility of you being a superhero with snail powers.
I do remember.
Yes, and I asked you between 4 names, what would you choose? Super Snail, Snail Woman, Snail Girl, or Cecelia the Snail. Yeah, which is obviously the best choice, right? I think the best choice of all came in my inbox, and I got to give a shout out to Maggie Mac, our listener. She said, you missed Cecelia.
Oh God.
So, which honestly is pretty good. So I'm going to repose this question for you. When throwing Cecelia in the mix, is Cecelia the best option, or does another better option exist?
Well, given the prompt, and if I remember correctly, I said that I would rather be. No, I think I said I'd rather be a normal person, but if I had to be, the snail with superpowers, and I was already like the laughing stock of the whole, universe or whatever, I think, say it again. Cecelia would just go along with the joke. I think it would just add another, just add more fuel to the fire. It would just make the whole thing even more ridiculous. So I agree that has to be the one. I think it has to be the one. That was a missed opportunity, but thank God,
she caught it.
Thank God she caught it.
Maggie Mac, you saved the day on this one. Even though it was 2 weeks late on my end, I apologize to the world. Cecelia has a nice ring to it, and it flows really well.
It totally does. I really appreciate that, people are taking the initiative to engage with us in the topics that we have, because of course, our takes are very important. That's why we're having these conversations.
Exactly.
But, feel free to jump on in. If you see us on the street, pick up a conversation. Let us know what you think.
100%. And if you come up with any other snail names for Cecelia, if she was a superhero with snail powers, send them our way. We're always looking for more possibilities. I feel like we're getting closer to the perfect one.
I'm scared.
Second update. So last episode, I enlightened you to the word swashbuckling.
Yes.
And you asked me to define it. And I feel like I failed you because I gave kind of a wishy-washy explanation. I said it was kind of a party term to talk about the pirate lifestyle.
It wasn't Merriam-Webster status.
It wasn't, but you know what? I looked at Merriam-Webster online, and I'm about to give you a Merriam-Webster status definition, which I have to admit, I was blown away by this definition, Cecelia.
I'm really looking forward to hearing this.
All right, so I found this definition for swashbuckling: to engage in daring and romantic adventures with ostentatious bravado or flamboyance.
That is the best definition of any. It's, first of all, it's the best word I've ever heard. And then that is the best definition. Say it again.
To engage in daring and romantic adventures with ostentatious bravado or flamboyance.
Ostentatious bravado?
And flamboyance. There's 3 really cool words within a 4-word span.
There is. It just makes the cool word even cooler.
Now, I have a question. How often, since our last episode, have you used swashbuckling? Do you insert it every day at work or with your friends when you're getting brunch?
I'm honestly really disappointed to say that I haven't, but I actually have brunch plans on Sunday, so Cecelia, I will prepare for some swashbuckling.
Definitely, and I feel like you need to have a 3-time minimum, so you have to say it at least 3 times when you're hanging out with your friends.
I think that brunch with my friends is a place where I kind of, enter a scene with ostentatious bravado and flamboyance. So
exactly.
It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
So brunch is not complete without a little swashbuckling.
Exactly. I completely agree.
So a third note, which I wasn't planning, for those of you who are listening, there is someone drilling in our building, which we're going to refer to as the drill guy throughout this episode. So if Cecelia says a really cool comment and drill guy starts drilling, we're gonna mention drill guy, and we're gonna throw our fists in the air, which y'all can't see, but you can imagine, I'm sure.
I don't think we have a choice except to just, welcome his presence in the conversation.
Drill guy.
He's not going away.
Oh, drill guy. Oh my gosh. Or it could be drill gal. Who knows?
Could be drill gal.
We'll see. So I'm super excited. What is your first random topic of the day?
I'm up today. Okay, so essentially since Saturday, I've kind of been enveloped in this.
Enveloped, that's a good word.
Thank you.
I love that verb. I'm going to start using that too.
I have been enveloped in this British dating show. It's called Love Island, and it's one of my roommates is watching it, and I kind of, just like, I jumped in kind of in the middle of the season.
Sure.
This season is 57 episodes.
That's more episodes than weeks in a year. How do they do that?
No, it's crazy because it's essentially it's live. It's almost like an American Idol kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Where like the public votes. I'm watching an old season from 2018, but
so you can't vote.
Yes,
Darn.
but in the UK they can vote. Based
Yeah.
on what happens every week. And let me tell you, I'm sure you know this, but there is nothing more entertaining than listening to British people engage in banter, what they like to call banter.
It's the accent and the terminology. It's
the accent and the
point.
terminology has completely taken over my mind space, and it's completely changed the way that I think in general. It's the terms that they have in the UK, just slang terms. I don't know why we don't have anything like that. I don't know why
glorious.
we are not
Yeah.
as creative as them.
They're glorious. Can I interject with a quick story
Yes.
before you put your question?
Of course. Drill guy wants to hear.
Yeah, drill guy is drilling because he's excited about this question, y'all. So there is the lady at work at Warner Brothers that Cecelia and I both work with. Her name is Sarah Haddon. There's two things you need to know about Sarah. She's super awesome and super British. So those are the only two things you need to know about Sarah. But I've always seen in TV shows and in film, people who are British use the term "go to the loo." Mm-hmm. But I've worked with British people most of my career, and I've never heard that terminology used in front of me. But last week, Sarah was walking by talking to somebody, and she said, "I'll be right there, but let me first head to the loo." And it
Your head
blew my mind.
exploded.
It was the moment I've been waiting for. It was the Britishy moment I've been waiting for. It's like more British than tea and crumpets for me. Like this was my moment, and it was glorious.
I love that. I love that. So I'm really glad that you have a lot to say on this topic because this is really the only thing that's on my mind. All of these words, I wrote a couple of them down to just say. Proper is a big one. Proper.
Literally. You say literally all the time.
They do say literally. I'm not even going to try to do the accent. I'm not even going to embarrass myself or, British people around the world. I'm not going to try.
I think I've mastered saying literally in a British term. You drop us one of the
syllables.
Syllables. So it's like literally.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's totally one. They say proper. They say sweet and nice in really different contexts.
Yeah.
Like I just really, it's so funny because they're English words. You understand them, but the context, rubbish. Or they say, I'm absolutely gutted, like when they're so sad.
That's cool.
So it got me thinking about, introducing possibly some of these slang words into my vocabulary.
Yes.
Or the possibility of making up a slang word to enter into my vocabulary. And I know the way that your brain works. And I knew as soon as I thought of this, I had to know what JR would want to introduce into his already very colorful vocabulary as a potential new slang word that doesn't exist, that you make up just for your own life, or one that you've heard before that was just too perfect that you had to hold on to it.
Does it have to be British? Can it be anything?
It can be anything. Give me one that already exists, but just one that you think,
I should use more often.
You should use more often because just like swashbuckling, it would just, really enhance any conversation or thought you may have.
Can it be a word that I use now but I don't use enough of?
Yes, of course.
It should be more?
Of course.
Okay, so the word is crunk. All right. It's crunk. The reason I like the word crunk is because it's very...
I love that word.
It's a great word. And the thing is, it's so versatile because if you think about crunk, it's a blending of two words, crazy and drunk.
I'm going to laugh every time you say that word.
No, so I think what's great about crunk, Cecelia, is that when you say it, if you say, man, he's being too crunk right now, right?
I would argue, though, you can't be too crunk. That's just an example of a way it might be used, but... Crunk implies that you can never be too crunk. Crunk is you're there, you're crunk. Let's get crunk.
You are ready to roll. And I feel like being crunk is like part of your essence. It can be. And something about crunk that I love is it doesn't have to mean crazy drunk. It could also mean like like get hyped up, like get crunk, you know? So this is actually the phrase that me and my friends back in high school used to always say to each other. We'd say, get crunk, dude, you know, just like, 'cause it was me and my friends' words, a word from high school. And even to this day, whenever I hang out with my friend Trent and Tyler, and their spouses, they complain that we say crunk too much.
That's so funny.
Like literally one time, Amanda, Trent's wife, once said to us, if I hear crunk one more time, I'm going to scream.
You're like, that just means you're going to get crunk.
But what's amazing is we didn't even realize we were saying it. Long story short, I say crunk, I don't say it enough.
You don't say enough. I completely agree. I think it implies that you can never be too crunk. I really love that you say that. And I also want to say it more because I definitely have sent, you know what it's great as? It's like, you know, you're like 2 hours before everyone's going to get together, before they're going to go out. You just send a quick hype text, let's get crunk.
Because there's really no there's really no other phrase that encapsulates we're going to get crunk, right?
Exactly.
We're going to get like pumped up, hyped up. It's not the same. Like getting crunk is like its own phrase that is standalone on its own island. I have to say, so as you know, the godfather of crunk is Lil Jon.
Of course. Right. I was hoping you were going to say that.
So Lil Jon, I have a special place in my heart for Lil Jon because I'm a crunk enthusiast, right? So I have a theory about Lil Jon two theories. One, the world's always a better place when he's at the top of his game.
Okay.
You know?
Agree. I don't even hear the arguments. I agree with that.
You're good. Perfect. So we're on the same page.
Yep.
I just hope Drill Guy's on the same page with us. You know?
He obviously is. We'll hear from him in a second.
He will. All right, Drill Guy, I need you to drill twice if you agree. All
Literally.
Right, drill twice. So one, the world's a better place when he's at the top of his game. And two, every 8 to 10 years, he makes an epic comeback. So whenever I was in high school, he was at the top of his game, right? So he had all these amazing hits, came out singles. Then he went silent, and the world was a little bit dim and bleak for a while, but then Turn Down for What landed, and it changed the world, and that was his epic return. So I'm telling you, that's been about 6 years ago. So get ready. So within the next 2 to 4 years, Lil Jon's gonna make a comeback, and the world's gonna shine brightly for a quick moment. Oh look, here's Drill Guy. Okay, that's
Drill Guy's ready. Drill Guy's ready.
He drilled once.
And so am I.
But sorry, Cecelia, what were you saying?
No, I completely agree with you. I think we're due. I can't wait. You know, I really can't wait. That can Drill Guy.
He just drilled a second time, so I think he agrees with us.
He agrees.
Sorry.
He agrees. I personally think that in general, I just want to include a lot of the British words I'm hearing on Love Island just into my regular vocabulary. It's a little bit hard because I feel like they don't have as much punch as they do when the actual British people are saying them and putting all that kind of force behind it. So I feel like that inspired me to kind of go back to my roots and a slang word that I have always felt very tied to and have faced my fair share of, I wouldn't say bullying, but bullying for using, especially when moving down to LA, is hella. Hella is, you might be confused about hella.
Is that a NorCal term?
Let me explain to you. Yes,
okay.
Let me give you a lesson. Let me give you a lesson. Hella is, as long as I've been alive, has always been tied to the Bay Area as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. Hello is something that works in a lot of different ways. I feel like the two main characteristics of the word hella, it has a lot of different parts of speech almost, but it either means really or it means a lot.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I've heard it before, but I'd never understood the context.
It's like,
this is helpful.
It's an adjective or a noun. You could say it in the middle of a sentence or you could say it at the end. You know, you could be like, how excited are you tonight? I'm hella excited. Or it'd be like, how much money did you make last year? I made hella money last year. Or you could even just say as a one blank statement, how excited are you for you tonight? Hella.
Can you use them twice in one sentence? Like that party was hella hella? This is completely incorrect.
No,
I think
it's a double negative, you know what I mean? It doesn't work.
So it negates it, basically.
Exactly. Gotcha, it does negate it. I think just not being around it so much as I've been in LA for the last, 5 or so years, I haven't really heard it. I will say, coming fresh to UCLA from the Bay Area, the first time that I uttered the word hella, I got stares. No. I got pointed at, and they said my best friends that
did they banish you for a week?
They didn't banish me. Let me tell you what ended up happening. Actually, my two friends from San Diego. looked at me and said, "What did you just say?"
Uh-oh.
And I said hella. And they're like, hella. That's so embarrassing. I can't believe you actually say that. And I have been saying it all my life. My parents say it. My teachers at school said it. Everyone said it. It's just a part of our vocabulary. And so I'm like, okay, you guys really don't know what you're talking about. But for a while, they would make fun of me until maybe about 2 months into being at school, 2 months into knowing these people. One time, my friend said, hella. She said, "I'm hella excited for tonight."
Oh, and you never let it down, did you?
I threw my hands on the table and I said, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "I can't believe what just came out of my mouth." And I'm like, I'm not even going to, I'm not going to bully you back. I'm just going to say welcome.
You played the higher ground in that.
Of course I did. I want everyone to use that word.
Cecelia, I'm proud of you for playing the high ground.
Are you hella proud of me?
I'm hella proud of you. I have to say, though, I've been here for 6 years, and SoCal has its unique terminology also, like, gnarly and stoked, and man, that riptide was frothy, just like weird terminology. So, like, honestly, being a SoCal resident now, we can't make fun of people from NorCal necessarily because we have our fair share of weird terms like frothy and gnarly. And
I agree. I think the takeaway is, though, that American slang, whether it's from NorCal, SoCal, the East Coast, Midwest, it pales in comparison to the beautiful, colorful language of the UK. I mean, what are we doing?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, they use the word posh. How can you beat that?
They use it seriously.
We cannot stand up to that. I'm going to move on to my topic really quickly. So
I'm hella excited for your topic.
Oh my gosh, I'm hella excited. And I'm sure Drill Guy is hella excited too. This guy's been in the conversation. I love it.
Me too.
Like, we should, Drill Guy needs to be like a special guest sometime. Mm-hmm. He needs to show us how
I'm sure he'll be back.
He will 100% be back. Okay, so my topic, Cecelia, is I've been thinking about this. I personally don't have tattoos. I respect people who take the plunge and get tattoos. Me personally, it's not my thing. Mm-hmm. So my question is, if you lose a dare or a bet, if you lose a bet and you have to get a face tattoo of someone else's face on your face.
On my face.
What or who would it be of?
Who would it be of? Okay, first of all, I do want to give a little spiel about tattoos. Because
I'm ready for this.
I have 3.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I have 3 tattoos, and I'm actually really seriously considering getting another one.
A face tattoo. Get a face tattoo of someone's face. Cecelia, this is inspiration for you.
My parents love me, and I want them to love me for the rest of my life. And if I think that there are a few things that I would do to make my parents, actually lose love in their heart for me, and one of those things would be get a tattoo on my face.
Okay, so one, I would never actually advocate you getting a face tattoo. I think you're making the right choice, Cecelia.
Okay, thank you. And so as I've been thinking about getting another tattoo, I also have them in places where, for example, right now, just came from work and you really can't see any of them on me right now. And I've been thinking just about where to get another one. And so I've been, seeing just a lot of people's tattoos on the internet and just getting inspired and thinking about them. And I swear I've seen so many people with face tattoos recently.
Really?
And yes, and of course singers and famous people, but I just am what is the desire to get a tattoo on your face? That being said, if it's going to be a tattoo on your face and it's going to be a face,
someone else's face, I think that's pretty awesome.
Let me think. I think
it's like Inception. It's like a face within a face.
It is Inception. Okay, so do I get to pick where on my face?
Yes.
Okay.
You can do size. So if you want to do a full face graft overlay, so their face is basically printed onto your face, you can do that. Or you can do a small Spider-Man face coming on your nose or your nostril, whatever you want. It's 100% your decision. Would it help if I thought mine?
I think yes. I think I'm going to need... It takes me so long to come to a decision to make my real tattoos. A fake one, same thing.
This is an important decision that once you commit to this on air, if you ever get a face tattoo, you have to go with that face.
Exactly.
Tattoo.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, I want some inspiration here.
Of course, this episode is binding. So for your future tattoo. Okay, so 2 things on the face tattoo to consider for me is I'm considering multiple worlds I would live in. So I'm going to give a call back out to our very first episode. I talked about the importance of, wouldn't it be amazing if everybody had their own boombox guy that followed them around and pumped music from a boombox to hype you up and get other people around you hyped. So if we live in that world, I'm going to tell you what my face tattoo would be in. But then if we live in our current, more bleak boombox guyless world, I'm going to tell you what that tattoo would be also. So
okay, I love that you have two for two different worlds.
No, exactly. So two different realities. The first reality, the boombox reality, where everyone has their boombox guy following them around the boombox. I would obviously have my boombox guy's face on my face.
Yes.
This is why, because this guy is boomboxing his heart out for me. He's going out on a limb. He's putting in the work every day. He's doing an amazing job. And I just want to like give a tribute to him and like say, what better way to thank my boombox guy than
he honestly deserves that respect.
Exactly. But like, and then to memorialize him on my face. And like, I'd probably have him winking and then probably have like little music notes going around his head. You know what I mean? So that, obviously. In the non-boombox guy world, again, our current reality that's bleaker and not as bright and vibrant as our boombox guy reality, I'd probably have the Monopoly guy. And the reason is because anyone who sees me would be like, JR means business. Like he means business. He will upsell you in Park Place if you cross him. So this is basically like my way to show people that I mean business. A better way.
If I saw a Monopoly guy on your face, first of all, I'd be like, there's a tattoo on that guy's face. And then I would be like, it's the Monopoly guy.
Yes.
This is serious.
It's serious. He's serious. And I'd probably have like fake Monopoly money that I would just kind of like wave my face with every day.
Yes.
Just kind of like wave when it gets hot out. So.
Yes. I love both of those ideas. Yep. I think I think definitely you gave me some inspiration. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but I 100% know what face I would get on my face. It's not a person's face.
That's fine.
But it is my dog's face.
Oh, that's amazing.
My dog's name is Duke. He lives in the Bay Area with my parents. He's hella cute.
What breed is Duke?
He's a boxer.
Oh, too adorable.
And I swear I'm being objective. I swear I'm being objective, but he is literally the most beautiful boxer I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
And everyone agrees.
Here's my question for you. This face tattoo of Duke, would it be a cartoon stylized version or would it be photoreal? Because photoreal would be pretty neat.
That would be pretty neat. Photo real. I've honestly seen tattoo artists that specialize in doing dogs, like really detailed dog faces where it looks photo real. And yes, and they even use, like that special white ink to like really make the faces have like dimension. They're so beautiful. I've always thought they were really interesting. And I've had to talk, my friends have had to talk me out of the idea of getting a tattoo of my dog or in tribute to my dog. Before, I'm still not completely convinced, but now that I'm getting it on my face, I think it's perfect.
Now, question, you said that your friends have talked you out of it before. Have you actually been in the tattoo artist chair and it's like almost like a standoff situation where your friends are like, don't do it, Cecelia, and they're trying to talk you off the cliff and like the guy's tattoo needle's inching closer to your face and you're like, I'll do it.
That has not happened to me yet, but I will tell you, I honestly, sometimes going into the tattoo place, like I have to be 100% sure when I go in there because to be honest, like those tattoo artists, they're busy. They don't have time to waste. They don't have time to wait for me to be like, I don't know. But I did have a dream the other night that I was going to go get a tattoo and my friends were with me and I didn't know what I was going to get. And I was sitting there with the tattoo artist and talking to him about it and he was not having it and he was getting so frustrated and it was becoming this high tense situation before I was about to get this permanent ink on my body. So I think I'm a little bit scarred from that dream experience. So I've never been in that situation before, but I think if I was going to go in to get a tattoo of Duke's face on my face, and I think it needs to be big. I think it needs to be like from my jaw all the way to my eyebrow. I'm
at least your eyebrow.
On the right side of my face. I think
that's perfect.
I got to be ready for it.
That's perfect. So all you listeners at home, I think the big takeaway from Cecilia's nightmare dream is that you should never have a tattoo artist that's in a rush to leave. Like on a Friday at like 5:55 when they're ready to leave. Don't have a tattoo artist that's like rushing to get things done.
No way.
Find someone who's chill and we'll put in the time. As we started last week, we have a random fact for you that we're going to end this episode with. It was my turn to come up with the random fact, Cecelia, and I'm really excited about my random fact because I think it's adorable yet interesting yet also intriguing.
I could not be happier about all three of those things.
Exactly. So it's three amazing things.
And I'm sure Joe Guy is looking forward to it too. There he is.
You just drilled. That was on cue. That was amazing. Okay, so my random fact, Cecelia. Did you know that in Switzerland, it's illegal to own only one guinea pig because they get lonely if it's only one of them?
Not these guinea pig facts. I swear I've heard so many facts about laws surrounding guinea pigs.
People love guinea pigs.
And I'm just like, I haven't seen a real life guinea pig since I was like 8 probably. But I'm glad that they don't have to be lonely over there.
They will not be lonely in Switzerland. I am happy. I just want to say before I leave this random fact, can you just imagine the day that one guinea pig activist stood up in front of the Swiss Congress and gave an impassioned speech to pass this legislation? Like, that just brings a smile to my face, picturing this like super excited like guinea pig activist. He probably had a guinea pig or two, or probably two on his shoulder at that moment, giving this impassioned speech. And, you know, more power to him or her. Like,
justice for the guinea pig loneliness.
Justice for them. Well, I think that's everything we had today, right, Cecelia?
I think so.
We covered Crunk, we covered Frothy, we covered
my dog's face on my face.
Exactly. And Hella, like, gosh.
Exactly.
And Drill Guy even got involved.
Shout out.
This was a great productive episode. So on that note, thank you all for tuning in today. As I said last week, be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram if you go online. It's at Randomize Podcast. And as always, stay random, y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Randomize. If there's a super random topic that you think should be discussed on this podcast, please email us at randomizepodcast@gmail.com. Also, I gotta throw out a quick disclaimer. As myself, Cecelia, and many of our guests are employees at Warner Brothers and Warner Media, I want to reinforce that everything said on this podcast is a reflection of our own personal views and does not reflect the views of Warner Brothers, Warner Media, or any of its other parent or sister companies or other affiliated entities. Take care, y'all, and stay random.